Hello and welcome to another episode of Blue Alpine TV. In today's special episode, we will talk about the tools we use to research cryptocurrencies. As you know, here at bluealpineresearch.com, we do fundamental analysis of the top cryptocurrencies in the market. And we use different tools and different websites in order to get a good overview of the project. Generally, when we do our analysis, obviously we go a bit more deeper than what we will talk about in this video now. So this is kind of a high overview of all the things we look at. This is by no means complete. We'll probably do another episode on this in the future as well. But for now, I think this should really help you if you want to do quick research. As you may or may not remember, we actually did a quick way to research cryptocurrencies in the past video. So we have introduced you to the 6x6 method, where we look at all of these points. We look at team, advisors, technology, roadmap, partnerships, ease of use, and then we answer a bunch of those questions. Now, in order to get to this first part, we use different tools and websites to actually get to know the project a bit more deeper. Now, let's jump right into a couple of tools that we do use. So one of the first things we generally do is start at CoinMarketCap. So CoinMarketCap is a website where you get the market capitalization of all of the cryptocurrencies in the current market. You get certain stats, graphs, all of these things. Now, let's say we want to do research on Litecoin. Now, one of the main things we do look at is obviously these numbers. So the circulating supply, the max supply, all of these links, in order to get kind of a good overview over how many transactions are being done on a daily basis, all of these things. Now, one very interesting tab here is the markets tab. So in order to find out whether a cryptocurrency has a lot of liquidity and how much volume is being traded on, you can actually go to the markets part and see on which cryptocurrency exchange it is getting traded by how much. So that is a quick way for you to actually realize whether the cryptocurrency project has any volume or not at all. Other than this, one of the things, we look at the explorers, at the different ones. Sometimes some explorers are better than others. Some provide you with more information. Sometimes they are from the official project. Sometimes they are not. So always take these with a grain of salt and be sure to click on the right links and not any kind of scamming links and all of these things. Message board, chat, source code. So if you want to go to the GitHub project, but we'll come to that at a later stage. Now, obviously, one of the first instances is always the website. So we look at the website, we try to understand, okay, what the project is all about. And then we look at the team. So out of the 6x6 method, the team is really important. In order to research on the team, we kind of look at the past of the founders and the employees of the project. One of those tools, especially for Western projects, is one of those tools that you could use in order to do proper research is actually LinkedIn. Now here we have, for example, Omise, the company, not the cryptocurrency, but we could search for example, Omise Go co-founder LinkedIn. This is one quick way to actually see whether we can find some information about the co-founder of Omise. So we can see here Jun Hasegawa, he's the CEO of Omise Go and Omise. And we can see here quite quickly the steps or previous positions that he has been in. We can see what languages he speaks, what kind of groups he takes part in. And this is not meant as kind of end-all be-all station. This is just the first step. So this is just to give you a pointer. So let's say in this case he was is the founder of Omise. So when we do research, we would look at what is Omise. We were looking at Omise Go. We want to understand what exactly is the difference and all of these things. What was his role here? What was his role here? All of these things. Then you would also look at certain things such as whether the founder was successful in the past. Has he or she worked on a blockchain project in the past? All of these things. So this is one quick way in the Western world to gather information. Now, when it comes to Asian founders or mostly Chinese companies or Chinese projects, LinkedIn is not that useful. So you will probably hit a lot of Chinese sites, Chinese news sites, where news or different sites have reports about these people. So you would have to translate them yourself or go through all of these things. So this is one thing that we look at, for example. Then one other thing, and we think is actually quite interesting, is the technology part. Now, obviously, every cryptocurrency project or blockchain project at its core is a technology project. So we need to understand what kind of technology they are putting out, what time distances, whether they are fulfilling the roadmap, whether they are fulfilling certain milestones, all of these things. One very cool site for this is cryptomiso.com. And what CryptoMiso does is actually looking at commits. So commits are kind of contributions to code, to a code base, and for open source projects in most cases. And as you can see here, this looks quite wild, but this is basically all the commits or contributions to different cryptocurrency projects. And if you look at the past 12 months, so we could say, for example, we only want to look at the past 6 months, we can see here that, for example, Komodo has the most commits by 4,285 commits by 28 contributors. And you can see even here at what time there were more contributions and more commits, and at what time less. Then at number 2, we have Lisk, we have 0x, and all of these things. Now, this is just a first step for you to understand, okay, whether there is any activity in this project at all. There are some projects, especially ICOs and all of these things, that promise you a lot of money without really properly, promise you a lot of innovation without properly building the product. And this is a huge problem in the cryptocurrency space right now. So this is actually one way how you can assure yourself that the project you're looking at is actually delivering something. Also, don't be afraid to click on these links in order to get to their GitHub profile. So in this case, for example, we are in the profile of 0x. And if you can see here, these are all the projects that are kind of open source that you can look through the actual programming code. Obviously, if you're knowledgeable about programming code, you will already know what exactly this is, and you can click those things through and try to understand it. But if you're not really knowledgeable about these things, or if CryptoMiso is not covering the project you're just looking at, you can also just search on GitHub by itself and look at the insights here. You can see the amount of contributions, the amount of commits. You can see whether in the contributors there are the same people as the people you've already searched on LinkedIn for example, different employees and developers, all of these things. If, for example, the co-founder says, I contribute every day to this project and I'm a coder, all of these things, and you don't see the person in the GitHub project, this is already a red flag. So all of these things are quite easy to find out when you spend a little bit of time. Now, one thing we also found, one thing that came out just recently is this Darpal rating. Now, they are trying to do something very similar. So they are analyzing different commits and cryptocurrency projects, and they're looking at, they're kind of giving them a rating. And what the factors and what the ratings exactly mean, you can read that in the article. I don't like that this is an image, but I think it has been translated from Chinese, so there is no actual sheet for that. But there are ways basically to look at different projects in different ways. Now, one of the last tools that we like to use, or sites actually, is Reddit. Now, Reddit is, depending on what kind of information you're looking for, is either very informative or very, very biased. So you have to be a bit careful about certain information and always double check certain information, because this is user generated content. So obviously in some cases people do have interests of publishing certain information, so you always have to keep this on the back of your mind. In order to get to a subreddit, as this is called, like a subcategory of Reddit, you just Google for Reddit and then the project name, in this case, for example, Neo. And then when you're on the Neo page, you can actually go through all of these things here, or you can search through different things. So let's say we're looking for the roadmap because we weren't able to find it on their website. So we just look for the roadmap. And then you can see here that the NEO roadmap has been released. We look at here, we see some kind of roadmap here, and then we would dive a bit deeper. So this is quick and easy way to learn about different cryptocurrency projects. And obviously this doesn't cover all parts. So you will have to Google a lot. You will have to do a lot of research, white paper, reading through white papers and all of these things. This is all part of the research. But the tools that we just talked about are just one small part. But we believe this will help you in your research. And with that, guys, we're already at the end of today's episode. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast as well. And don't forget, if you sign up on bluealpineresearch.com/free-report, you will get the fundamental analysis as an example, and that will show you how we do research at our place. So if you're not really into researching a lot of cryptocurrency coins, you can just sign up on bluealpineresearch.com and you will receive all the fundamental analysis that we did on the top cryptocurrencies. And with that, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.